So today is February 2nd, 2021. And my name is Joseph, and I'm in California. 9:30 and some odd minutes. How's everybody doing? I hope well. So these are today's notes. Some thoughts I jotted down as I prepared to stream some. I won't leave it there on the screen, but I may come back to it as I roam from thought to thought. You may have noticed the music is different. This is a different artist, someone I've listened to since 2005 when I purchased this album. And for love of this particular track, one of two, there's another. But this one, definitely a thumbs up. Transparency of freedom. And enjoy. Check out his other music. So that's different. Let me go ahead and remove this page. You may notice it says waiting for. And I have written on the other side of the page, but I will leave that for the end of this stream. There's plenty to explore on just what's showing. It is my birthday, for the record. Groundhog's Day. Great holiday, by the way. To have a birthday on. So, yeah, I haven't had any cake or anything like that. No balloons, no party hats, but in my mind, there's a clear image of such moments. I did think of making some brownies, and I still may do that after I finish this stream. That aside, let's get this going. I speak with God. What do I mean? What does anybody mean? What are they saying when they say speak with God? I speak on my behalf with no one religion behind me. I find it simpler that way in this time that we all are living in. That's the best stance to have. So when I say I speak with God, there should be absolute clarity, because there is only one God. We're all. And I jotted down Moses. I watched a couple of documentaries last night on Moses. Just to see where we're at, I guess. There's a lot going on in the world. There's a lot of people looking for stuff in the world, finding stuff, putting pieces together. That aside, the majority of people have a different image, a different story in mind. The Bible comes to mind, and you think of Moses in that regard. But from my understanding, see, I have a very open mind. When you take into account things that we have learned since those words were written about Moses and put into the Bible, became a part of the Bible, the Holy Bible. We've learned a lot. Again, there's a lot of people throughout time that have been keeping track of time best they can, and there's always new discoveries. Lost is found, and it changes things. It does. Does it matter? I guess that's where I'm at. Does it matter? All these different faiths out there. Do any of them matter? I think it's a fair question to ask. Clearly, as an outside observer looking in on a scene, I could easily be left with confusion because there are so many walls, so to speak. There can be invisible walls. Walls. I don't want to get on a tangent of walls. But there's a lot of them. And a lot of these religions, they do that, just kind of by their declaration. Are all these faiths leading to one God? I believe so. I think that's just a no-brainer, obvious. In the end, there is only one God. Now, you can break that one God up into pieces, I suppose. However many pieces, that it's all still that one God. That's another tangent that could be gone down. Just seems like there's a lot of gods going on, really. all these different faiths. It comes down to, everybody needs to be one faith or the other. That's how their end ends. Which I just don't get, I guess. Kind of you're tossing out free will. That into the equation. Where'd free will go? Because that's something I resonate with. And it comes up pretty early on in this one book in particular that has picked up a lot of attention in its time. Now, whether these events... See, I think here's where the problems come into play, is the miracle, the miraculous, the impossible come true. I think that those are what they are. Simply dreams. Telling a story that you want it, and you want it to end well. You want it to end well. Right? I don't know. I didn't get stuck in watching all kinds of new interpretations, I guess, of biblical scripture in relation to new understandings of history, the evidence that's been found, and it's kind of fascinating, really. I don't really have big issues with it, and I don't think it should take away from this, that there's a meaning why the book exists. There's a reason for it being here. And I don't think it's a bad reason. I think it ultimately has a very simple message overall that's being expressed. There's no ill will, only beware of ill will. Because there is a big world that you are in. It's huge. Just like the universe is, you think of the universe and how huge it is, and just being here, right, wherever you're at, it's almost the same thing. The earth is pretty big, and on it there are a lot of people. A lot of people. I'm one. I was born on February 2nd, 1967. I turned 54 today. Next year I'll turn 55, and I will turn 55 on 2/2/22. That's if I'm here. That's if I make it. Made it this year, this past year. Whole year. Most of it has been under this pandemic. This virus. Disease. It's coming to get you. But wear your mask. Not just a mask. 2, 3, 4, 5 masks, if you can. That is just so absurd. I I've heard others say it, and I chant right along with these people that you might as well just put a pillow on my face. Yeah. But that's just ridiculous. I mean, if it's that bad, then there needs to be a team of engineers the government needs to be hiring to come up with some somewhat cost effective, because they are the ones that are ultimately going to be needing to provide it to the public, its country, a mask that can be reused, it can be cleaned, somehow it can be reused. This whole mask right now, every time I do go out, I see them tossed about, like, and I always think of them as like they're like condoms, used condoms. They just got all of whatever that person has and been doing of late while they had the mask on, now on the mask, and now they're just tossing. Anyway, I don't want to get lost on that tangent. So many tangents. One God for all. That's what I believe. That's what we're told Moses believed. One God for all. Parting the seas. All of it, all of the things that went wrong in the story of Moses leading up to the parting of the seas or the reeds. I don't know. I felt like who's ever doing this investigating about history had a pretty good telling. And you could totally imagine or envision the whole story of Moses, where the Moses story comes from, the even proof that there is a Moses, and but it's not the Holy Bible version. Those things happened, but all of it's natural. It can be explained, and there's record to show that was the case, because the Egyptians and the Israelites, the Hebrews, they weren't the only peoples on the planet. There was all kinds of other people. And they have a history too. Anyway, I'm not taking away from what the underlying message of what Moses represents. There's been many Moseses, so to speak, through the years, through the ages. Many have come and gone and come again. Somebody has to wake up, stand up, and speak up. Share the truth. More than ever in a time when truth tellers are persecuted. So yeah, I highly recommend one check into Moses of late. I'm trying to think of who it is that has the horns on the statue of, I think it's Moses, and it just looks so odd. Anyway, I just bought 10 Commandments with Charlton Heston on a Blu-ray version, remastered and all that good stuff, because it's a great film. It's about hope, never giving up, holding on to the hope, believing in something greater than you or anyone like you. I could totally jump forward now and get to some contact. Contact is always happening. It's always happening. Consciousness. Consciousness. Aware. With sentience. Alive. It's always happening, taking place. Contact. Consciousness. Your thoughts. That voice, your voice, your mind inside your mind. That's consciousness. And you're a part of it. We are all a part of it. That consciousness that's there. You feel like it's you, but there's also a part of you that wants to admit that it's not me though. It's not. It can't be just me. Contact. They're here. That's something a lot of people are waiting for. Contact? Yeah, baby. Serve me up some of that. I'm being facetious right now, thinking of the Twilight Zone episode. To Serve Man, I believe is the title. Oh, that's another wonderful tangent to go down. If you want to look at contact from that perspective. Contact is always in motion. You can't get away. You can't detach from it. I mean, when you turned your switch on, when your switch was turned on, it's on. Okay? That's just a fact, Jack. It's on till it's turned off. And you don't turn it back on. Not for the most part. There are those rarities. And one comes back. But on the whole, we all know how that works. Okay? They flipped your switch on. You flipped your switch on. Something turned your switch on, and it's on, and it can't be turned off until you know what happens. Okay. Meanwhile, while you're here, while your switch is on, there is a conversation taking place. Contact. It's heavy in the subconscious mind. This consciousness. It's intelligence. Let me add that at this point. It's intelligent. This consciousness is all. Okay? It's always been and always will be. It's a transmitting station that's 24/7 from our point of view. You get the drift. It's always on. It's an emergency. Well, I even add that to it. It just has to be on. This conversation that's taking place on a level that involves consciousness. And we can dive deep into what is consciousness, but I think that's just, you're just going to go round and round in circles, because some things you just never know. Some things just are. And you know what? I'll put it this way. I haven't spent much time thinking about needing oxygen. Why do I need oxygen? Why not have it be something else that I need? No, it's oxygen. Okay? It just is. It's always been. And I don't have any issue with it being that way. It just seems natural, like riding a bike. Once you get the hang of it, you just seem to, you never lose it. Okay? Take a little swallow of some water here. Need some water. Consciousness. Something that we are all connected to. We're just wired in, and you cannot escape it. It's a 24/7 deal. It's part of life, being alive. Okay? This consciousness is intelligent. It's always there. It's beyond this. It's beyond this in so many ways. Itch. This COVID, it's such a waste of time. And as time goes on, there's clear intent, and none of it's good. Just like with everything that's taking place right now. Everything's upside down, makes no sense, and yet we're told you can't say anything about that. To the point where you have these leaders wanting to prosecute people in large numbers, put them away somewhere, I guess. I don't know what, because they're just, the numbers are just, they're growing. They just seem paranoid to me, really. I see paranoid behavior, scared to death, because I'm hearing them tossing that word out there. Somebody's gonna kill me. I think if somebody's saying something like that, why are they saying something like that? And do it looking in the mirror, really. I don't know. They just, I don't know. That's a weird thing that people do. Both sides of the fence in question at the moment. They just seem scared. Why? That's what I want to know. Why do I feel that's what I'm sensing? Is it that they know they're not doing the right thing? Because that's what I've been standing back, and that just keeps popping into my mind, what I'm seeing take place. But we're just wrong. And so in your face. And just, if we want to get all political, we could talk about how this Biden thing, I'm going to continue to use that as my reference to you know who, you know what, whatever. Because I'm just done with the whole gender being an issue and pronoun, all of it. Just no. If you're going to make such a big deal out of it, then I'm just going to rely on reliable thing. Look it up in a dictionary. What is a thing? And I rest my case. That's what I use. It works for me. And it's all legit. There is nothing that can be struck against my stance. So yeah, Biden thing, just all these executive orders, just signing away, the most ever, within days. It's unheard of. Okay? It's unheard of. I don't want to even get into the whole political thing at this point in time. It's my birthday. And while I may touch on some politics, because it is important what's going on, I have a lot of concerns about what's coming. Anyway, contact. contact. Is always taking place. While you are here alive with a mind, there has been an interaction that's been taking place between you and this intelligence, this something that is beyond you. It's here right now. It's always been here. That's the best way to look at this. If not, you're going to go down too many other roads, distractions. Yeah, ultimately, you're going to all lead back to one place. Simple. Go with simple. Once you realize there is an intelligence here, whatever, I don't want to get into what this intelligence is. I want to establish first that once you recognize that there is an intelligence here and it's not going away, okay, that point in time of going back to it not existing never happens. It never can happen. Okay? So it's here. It's always been here. Okay, it's not new. Got to get that into your mind. There's not too many things, I think. Then again, who am I? This consciousness, intelligent consciousness that we are all part of, has always been here. Always. For all time, whatever time is. I think that as we grow, we begin to embrace, because of what we learn, that time lies in the past. Because there is a state of being where one moves beyond time. That state of mind is real. There's no reason for it not to be, other than one's free will to choose not to embrace such an idea. People ask, why aren't they here? Why, landing? Why isn't it happening? Well, take our world as it is versus the world I just spoke of, and contrast or comparing them. I think it becomes pretty clear why they just don't. They don't jive together. There's just no. They just slide off each other. They can never get cohesion, really. They're so far from each other. In the end, that's the kind of distance. Not that one can't go wherever this is, if you want to put it into a human perspective. You go somewhere. I'm not saying that that's not possible at all. I think that that's something that's necessary. I think it's an ongoing. We all have that switch flipped. Is that the end? Is it? See, now that's one of those questions that there is not a single person that can definitively say one way or the other. The answer to that. What happens afterwards. We have glimmers, shimmers of possible hope from those that get a second chance, so to speak. Nobody knows. Nobody. It's all speculation, wishing, waiting. We love to wait. Back to my waiting for. We do. We love to wait. We're waiting for a lot. We just waiting for that payoff. We know it's coming. It's coming. Papa needs a new pair of shoes. Government wants to know what's going on. I mean, come on, people. The Navy and the Pentagon have been publicly putting out into the public consciousness stream of thought. Here's these videos and some reports that go with the videos. You know, what do you see? I mean, that's how you lead off with such a story. What do you see? I mean, they already know what your answer is going to be, right? I mean, you know that. Your answer is probably going to be, I don't know what it is. And they're going to be like, yep. They're going to put a check in your box for right answer, because that's the only answer they have. That's why they put it out there. I mean, is this really happening? Or is this just some government psyop? To F with your mind? Confuse and trip you up? What's real? I don't know the answer to that, but I have enough information that I've been seeing that tells me where is everybody on this matter. But I mean, I guess in 180 days or however many days are left, we should have the answers. It seems like there should be a lot more watching. You know, if this is taking place, if this is what the Navy is seeing, and who knows who else, and they're just not saying anything. What are they seeing? What is it? What is it? The Navy is putting it out there. That's the question they're asking you. That's all they can do, really. Because they don't know what it is. But they see it just like you see it. Now think of how their minds are thinking, okay? And they see it and they know, okay, this is not ours. This is not anybody on the planet. Nobody here can do this. What is it? More than that, what do we do next? What do we do next? The Navy, the Pentagon. I would think that they would want to monitor, continue monitoring the situation, even step it up. If you ask me, clearly there's something that is being viewed in these videos. And it seems to be intelligent. The people, though. The people need to wake up and stand up and speak up on everything. Everything. And they're not. They're not. Love is fading. On this world, upon this world, in this world, it's fading. It is. It absolutely is disappearing. Now, the incentive isn't there. It's just not. It doesn't pay the bills, right? And there is no real forgiveness. Not anymore, not really. Where are the gifts? Give. Just saying. Back briefly to the government and UFOs. They want to know, okay? They want to know. Just like all presidents that have come and gone of late, they've all wanted to know. You know, is there something going on? There's not much to tell, sir or madam. We really don't know a whole hell of a lot. We can speculate. We may even have little trinkets. You know, I don't know really at this point in the game what's real and what isn't anymore. It doesn't seem like it matters. Everything's just par for the course at this point in the game. There's enough already for me to lead my mind to greener pastures. I need some greener pastures, because I'm seeing a lot of just death on so many levels. The idea in one's mind of dying. You know, you might get sick. The virus, the COVID's gonna get you. Better wear that mask. Now they want you to get the good old trusted anal swab, whatever. They're gonna prod you and get a good sample, because that's the place, the best place to get a very accurate reading of whether one has the virus or not. Ooh-wee. You heard right. Who would have thought? I talked about this in the previous stream from the other night. That I was finding this whole getting an anal test or anal probe for the virus, to check for the virus, made me think of people that get abducted and they get an anal probe. Right now I'm flashing on in South Park, their first episode, Cartman getting abducted by an alien and getting the good old trusted anal probe. Anyway, that got me thinking about how there's the phenomenon of cattle mutilation, right? Back in the 70s and 80s, it was pretty big topic, and cows would have their rectum cord out, just like scooped out of the cow, the whole, the shitter removed. Why? I remember thinking that's one of the first questions I think that most would probably want to know is why. Why that spot? One of many spots, but why that spot? And hearing some of the people, the investigators, doctors, and people of that sort explaining that, well, you can learn a lot of information from the ass, from the rectum. Everything you take in goes out in that one spot, for the most part. I mean, yeah, you sweat and all that stuff, but a lot of that's already been processed. And anyway, it goes out down there. We all know that. So it's a great place to gather information. Like if you want to know what's something been eating, that would tell you. It'd give you a pretty good picture, a diagram, a history. Now, I don't know if it was aliens or if that was some government projects. Who knows? It's definitely an odd phenomena that you can't ignore, really, because it took place. There are these cattle that were surgically mutilated. I say surgically because there's such precision involved here that this is not, Joe Blow on the corner doing this. Anyway, I don't want to get on that tangent. Other than all of it together at this point in time is just kind of fascinating to me, because they want to do this as a test for the virus. Have you bend over and get tested. They're going to know everything about you. Really, everything that your ass can give up at that point in time when you submit to the probe. I mean, yeah, they're checking to see if you have the virus, but that's just one test of many that can be done on the sample, right? There's a lot of data that can be gathered. Anyway, I don't want to blow it up into something that's bigger than it actually is. I hope that before it just becomes too much more ridiculous, that we finally find some sense. We wake up. We find meaning. God's a good direction. There's something greater than all of us that we are connected to. I know everybody wants to be here now. They want, they're all waiting for their God to return. I'm here to say you don't need to wait any longer. Really, I mean, that's the bottom line. There's no reason to wait anymore. None. This intelligence, it's everywhere. It's always with you. It's always with everyone. The Navy knows it's there. So does the Pentagon. And they want to know. What is it? You have any ideas? You can't believe that they are not listening to what the people are saying, because they are listening. They want to know. They have wanted to know for a lot of years. This day and age is a gold mine, the amount of information that can be sifted through and allowed for potential possibilities, thoughts of reasonable ideas to all of a sudden come into being. Whereas before all this technology, it would have taken a lot of time. I could go on and on and on. I will. I don't want to make them too long. I already say enough, I think, that's too confusing. You have to really give up a lot of where you stand on things. And that's not easy to do. I know, because I'm a human, and I feel everything that a human can feel. At one point or time, I have the capability and the potential. That said, okay, I did want to say this, mention this, that there's those people out there, when they reference this intelligence, aliens, ETs, whatever you want to call it, there seems to be see, I don't even want to get into the whole ETs, because I'm not on that page. I used to be. I used to check it out, keep up somewhat, open my mind. And there's all these different races out there. I just don't think so. I think that it's like with the Moses story, which is a lot of things, events, moments in time that happened around that time when this person would have existed, that were natural, and then they were all kind of incorporated together, because there was a Moses, and this Moses led people out of Egypt. But as for all the miracles, the interpretations of these events as being miracles by a God, so to speak, you have the Ten Commandments, that movie, and it really gives you an image that I think just kind of sits with a person. If they're going to want to know what's the Ten Commandments about, that one just kind of stays with you. And so it's hard to see anything else. Again, this has nothing to do with diminishing God. There's God played a very big part in this story of Moses. One God for all. The parting of the seas or the reeds, as it should be, was not done so much by God in that there were natural events taking place at that time in history that could have caused things to change, the tides to change, the dark nights, all because of events, natural events that happened at that time. Anyway, you have a collection of all those events that were used in the telling of Moses. That's, again, you could still say God was there making all the natural things occur. And you know what? You're right. You're totally right. That's why I say I'm not here to take away the idea of God. I'm just trying to keep it simple. I am with God. I speak with God. I don't speak for God. I speak with God. Just like I would speak with you or anyone. That's how you do it. That's the intelligent way to do it. I speak with God, one God for all. It's all there ever has been and all there ever will be, one. And everything is contained within that one. Everything. But at the end of the day, or the beginning, it's all stems from one. You can never get away from that. It'll always be one. Anyway, people say that this intelligence, there's some people that say that this intelligence, they don't know of love, they don't feel, and I just think that that's nuts. To even go there, to think of such a possibility. That's an expectation. That's a human expectation being placed onto another. Call it ET, alien, whatever. But that's a human expectation being placed on something else, someone else, and it's unfair. That's not how one should go about looking at the whole experience, the potential possibility. It's closed thought, closed mind. Love. Of course there's love. Intelligence. I think on one level has to have love because it makes the most sense. That kind of an ideal, to embrace that kind of an ideal, cherish and share endlessly such an ideal, why not? That's the best of any options one could be given. I think asking why not is a waste of time because there is no why not. It just is what it is. And love All you need is love. The song I listened to before I switched to this, Transparency of Freedom, by Miguel Samuez from his album Bluescape, which, by the way, has a butterfly on it. I thought that's good synchronicity there, because I drew a butterfly on my notes for today. If you catched a glimpse of that early on in this stream, it doesn't look very colorful as it does in real time here. I guess if I zoomed in on it. Anyways, it's a butterfly. Butterflies that's kind of like the end and beginning of a birth. The end as the caterpillar or cocoon. Now you're the butterfly. You're born. And today's my birthday, so that's why I drawn the butterfly. So to see the butterfly on the album cover for this album called Bluescape was perfect. But I was listening to Let It Be, was the song that was playing by the Beatles. So yeah, I think I'm just, you have to take all of this in small steps. Too much and it's too easy to get lost. I try to keep these at an hour, and then you can just listen to it, maybe even listen to it 2 times, and then go from there. So waiting for, what did I write down if I turn the page? Go ahead and see if we can get that out of the way as I wind things down for today. Bring my birthday to a close. Been pretty quiet, as one might expect, under the COVID community guidelines, mandates, whatever that we live in. So here's the maybe I can get the butterfly. You might see some of the color. Yeah. So if I flip the page, waiting for, and this is what I wrote before I began this stream. The answer. We're all waiting for the answer. You know. Everything. Forever and a day. A dream come true. Be well. Can't say that enough. I am always wishing you well. And that you're smiling.